Hello and welcome to Morning Call for Friday, the 11th of January 2019. And the first thing I do is bump the microphone. Friday morning, I'm a bit tired still. I'm here. Hello. My name is Fab. I'm talking to you from Hamburg, where it's once again gray and rainy, as we are used to, as it should be. Let's get into your tech news for the day. So the first news we have today comes to us from the government shutdown in the US. And we now have the first TLS certificates expiring of .gov websites because, well, I guess because they can't do anything when they're in shutdown, so they can't even renew TLS certificates. So this is gonna be over longer or shorter term. It's gonna be a bit of a problem. For website security, I'm just struggling because I've never understood this whole government shutdown thing. I mean, yes, I understand you're in an impasse. You haven't passed your budget or something, but why the hell why don't you just keep paying the government employees? I mean, the government will go on. There will be a government at some point that, you'll sort out the budget, and then you can, I mean, you're spending millions and billions on new warships every year, bombs and shit. Like, the money you're paying the government employees in that time has got to be can't be nothing again. Just keep paying them. Like, you'll have a new government at some point, and if you don't, you have completely other problems. But anyway, I've never understood that little rant here. I'm sorry. Next story. I thought it was over, but we still have some news from the German Daxing Attack. This is actually a story by yours truly. I researched this myself. So the IT consultant, 19-year-old IT consultant who says he gave the German police, pointed them towards the guy, the hacker, the guy who leaked all this data, has given a statement. And if what he says is correct, it's pretty damning, because he says, he was in contact with the hacker for years. Basically, after the guy hacked some, back in the day, he hacked YouTubers, and now he leaked like all the politicians' data, and it became a big story. But while he was just like leaking YouTubers' data and stealing their accounts, nobody cared. But this IT security guy followed him, on Twitter. He was like in contact with him on Twitter when he first began hacking stuff. And he says he knows that this guy in 2016 hacked accounts of two pretty famous German YouTubers, Pete's Meat and Ape Crime, two big comedy channels, and that they then basically called the police and said, well, we've been hacked, and basically the police started an investigation. And because this hacker guy usually used the VPN, his VPN malfunctioned apparently, and he, while logging into at least one of these accounts, he logged in with his real IP address, the IP address of his home, or rather his parents' home, where he still lives, even today, the police says. And so they had his address in 2016. A police office in Germany had his address and actually went there and confiscated hardware from him, which they apparently couldn't do anything with because most of it was encrypted. So they just let the case sit there unsolved. Nothing happened till now, when basically this big politician, famous people hack happened. German media got all over it, and the IT security consultant guy was basically saying publicly, "I know who this guy is." Then the federal police turned up at his house, searched his place, and basically interviewed him. And he said, "Well, I know the date. I know the date where you had this guy. You confiscated stuff. It was the 6th of October 2016. So now the federal police basically just had to go, okay, let's like contact all the police offices in Germany and local ones and ask them, like, did any of you like raid a house on the 6th of October 2016 and took hardware?" And that's how they found the guy. Like the IT guy says in the statement, like three hours later or something, they were at his house and arrested him. Now the funny thing is that BKA, the German federal police, has actually been like really proud of themselves that they got them so quickly. But it seems like they only got him because this guy told them there was already a case. This is not implausible. This speaks to federalism in Germany, where often the local police in one federal state does something and all the other officers don't know about it, especially if it's a low-profile case. So this could be true. If it's true, this is a huge failure on part of the police. I mean, they're now saying, oh, we need to mandate platforms like Twitter have secure passwords, and they need to force the users to have secure. No, the police just needs to talk to each other. You could have had the guy in 2016. What the hell are you doing? Anyway, more crime stories, because I like crime stories. As you might know, El Chapo, the former head of the Sinaloa cartel and star of a Netflix show that people might have seen, Narcos, is currently he is being there's a trial going against him in New York because they extradited him to the US. And they're trying to convict him now. And this is interesting because it now came out that apparently he hired some IT guy, some Colombian IT guy, to kid him out and have like a special VoIP solution that he could talk to his guys, like El Chapo could talk to all his cartel guys without the police listening in. Apparently it worked over Wi-Fi. When he was hiding in the mountains, they could still do that. And the FBI did what you do in such a case. They basically made him an informant. And so they now have thousands of phone calls because a few hours after these calls happened, this IT guy would just turn around and give him to the police. And now they have like El Chapo discussing all kinds of stuff. Interesting also, it turns out in the same case, it came out that this IT guy also planted spyware on phones for El Chapo. So El Chapo gave him like phones. There were essentially like 50 special phones. This guy testified that El Chapo wanted to listen in on, and he put it sounds like they're Android phones, and he put like spyware on them, so that in the testimony it came out that El Chapo apparently used them to, like, when he could tape phone calls, or he could turn on the microphone, the camera on the phone, standard, like, as we know from Snowden, stuff like intelligence services can use as well. And apparently he used to listen, like when he rang somebody, he would then immediately listen in on the microphone and just figure out what these people said about him once they were off the phone with him. Now, interestingly, he also captured text chats with his wife, and apparently stuff with his lover. And they read them in court, and his wife wasn't really pleased. But like, this is all interesting. So because the FBI got the IT guy, he then gave him access to all this stuff as well. He actually moved when he turned informant, he moved the servers from Canada to the Netherlands and told like the cartel guys it was like routine maintenance. And then with the help, I guess because the Dutch police was more able or more willing to help the Americans, I don't know. They basically they helped them and then got the stuff off tapped the servers, I think. So very interesting. So inside these organized crime organizations, they use those kinds of spyware as well, of course. And then if the police knows what they're doing and they just get an informant, they turn somebody, then they get access to all of that. Very interesting. Although this informant apparently had a nervous breakdown in 2013, and now they're like treating him like the court, those, because they can't film, they have those people who do court drawings for newspapers. They were instructed not to draw his face and stuff because apparently the cartel wants to find him, which isn't surprising. Other news from Germany again. You might remember the Amazon Dash buttons, these little buttons you put somewhere, and then you can just buy new like washing powder or tissues or whatever. You can just push the button, and you get like a new delivery of like whatever. Stuff that is like might be printing paper, any like usable item you use a lot of, but those those have been around for a while. They also got introduced in Germany, and now a German court has said Amazon can't use them. Mega Slipper says Amazon wants me to have a gin dash button. That sounds like a great idea, Dave. That's actually good use. Sadly, I can't use them in Germany anymore. The problem is in Germany, when you do as part of online transactions, like online buying something online, the company you buy something from needs to say, well, this is you're definitely ordering this now. There's like a special German zahlungspflichtige Bestellung is a special term, of course. We're Germans, of course, we have a special term for that. And that needs to be on there. And they basically need to tell you, okay, you're buying this now and you'll have to pay for it. Problem is, these buttons, which are just a button that you push and then, you get whatever you're buying, they don't do that. Actually, the German consumer watchdog had told Amazon they need to take them off the market and had actually initiated legal proceedings. Amazon didn't want to do that. And now they've won the Oberlandesgericht München. Sorry, I'm just a bit confused. There's like an alarm going off outside. Maybe somebody's trying to steal a car. Anyway, the joys of living in a city. The Oberlandesgericht München has now decided that you can't use them anymore in Germany. So no gin buttons for me. Although I could use that, or maybe like Köpi, like beer. Wouldn't be healthy though. Now I'll at least get the exercise. I have to go to the bloody shop. And anyway, a bit of a hilarious story. You might remember the NotPetya ransomware attacks. Now, Mondelez, which is they make snacks and stuff. They're a big food manufacturer. They are suing Zurich American. Because they had a cyber insurance, and Zurich is now saying, no, this is not a valid claim. NotPetya is not a valid claim because this was an act of war. And this is hilarious. So they're saying, but despite offering, and so this is a story from the Register, but despite offering an initial payment of $10 million, the company Zurich then rejected the claim altogether, claiming exclusion for, quote, hostile or warlike action in time of peace or war, end quote, by a, quote, government or sovereign power, end quote. So, first of all, it has not been proven that NotPetya was perpetrated by a government. I don't know how you would legally define a sovereign power, but I've been proving this in court. Attribution like this is gonna be bloody hard. And then their other bit is just hilarious. Hostile or warlike action in time of peace or war? What, in time of peace? Hostile action in time of peace? That's like anything. It's like getting robbed. What the hell are you like? And how can it be an act of war if there's no war? Like, yeah. And insurances, the chat says, yes, insurances are dumb, but still, like, this is even for an insurance, this is dumb. Like, this is clearly a cyber attack. Why have a cyber insurance, which I would think was a bad idea anyway, rather spend your money on backups, but like good backups, but why have that and then have the clear cyber attack, and then the insurance company goes, no. Nope, was an act of war. What? Like, there's been no war declared? There's no war. There was no war. It's cyber war. I mean, it's the guy, the German guy who, like, is that cyber war? Like, the doc... Oh, God. I hate this crap. This is hilarious. Anyway, hi, Mike. I'm just ranting. Nice to see you. Okay, let's wrap this up. Show's been going on for a long time. But Heise in Germany, my former colleagues, Heise reporting that Windows 7 recent updates, KB 4480970 and KB 4480960, are causing a lot of networking problems on Windows 7, apparently. People have been complaining to them. I remember how that was working for Heise and getting all these emails. It's a good indicator if something's broken in Germany, IT-wise. People will usually write to Heise. And there's problems with privileges and SMB 2 and stuff like that. It seems plausible. Stuff like that breaks a lot when they do like security fixes. But like my question is, okay, apparently today is rant day. Why the hell are you still using Windows 7? What? I mean, come on, get with the times. I mean, no wonder it breaks. Anyway, last story. It's not as hilarious as I'd hoped to have as my ending story, but it's still kind of funny to me. Apparently Bethesda is still patching Fallout 76, and they're patching a lot of bugs, like the lever action rifle reloading bug, or bobby pins that weigh 1/10 of a pound, and crap like that. I don't get it. Is anybody still playing this? Hello? Hello? Anybody still playing Fallout 76? I mean, what the hell? I think they should just refund everybody's money and move on. It's probably cheaper than doing all these patches. I don't think that many people bought it. I don't know. That just seems weird. Anyway, that's it for tech news for today. I hope you have a nice day. Have a short day as it's a Friday. I'm a freelancer, so I'll be working all day, I guess. But if you're gainfully employed, just make it a short one, and have a nice weekend. And I'll see you again on Monday. And just remember, I don't know, don't get cyber insurance, because if you get cyber, it's not gonna help you apparently. Anyway, see you on Monday. Goodbye.